Let us for a few moments meditate on Sri Ramakrishna for the peace and prosperity of the whole humanity. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Stapakaya Cha Dharmasya Sarvadharmaswarupine Stapakaya Cha Dharmasya Sarvadharmaswarupine Avataravadishthaya Ramakrishnaya Te Namah. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityormamritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. We have been studying Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. We have taken some of the teachings and tried to understand the significance of those teachings, how those teachings should be applied in our daily life. Today's topic, I wanted to speak on spiritual dissemination of Sri Ramakrishna. All the spiritual ideas given by Sri Ramakrishna in the Gospel form a very important philosophy which is very significant for all the spiritual aspirants seeking to realize the truth, to have the vision of God. Swami Vivekananda spontaneously gave expression that Sri Ramakrishna was the greatest of divine incarnations. There is tremendous importance in his statement. Swamiji found in Sri Ramakrishna the most perfect integration of all modes of thought and emotion leading to the ultimate. Sri Ramakrishna did not so much preach a philosophy as live the harmonization of all philosophies. The philosophy of Sri Ramakrishna is unique in the sense that unlike other conventional systems of philosophy, it is more a way of life and realization than a way of speculation or discursive thought. To Sri Ramakrishna, God, the ultimate truth, was a fact of immediate and living presence and direct perception, and not merely a hypothesis or a matter of conjecture. Sri Ramakrishna philosophy is a way of sadhana, practice, which culminates in direct experience of God. To Sri Ramakrishna, philosophy meant nothing else than practicing the presence of God and experiencing the blessedness and joy of God. So how these ideas are well given in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, we can concentrate upon these ideas and formate our spiritual life accordingly. The first cardinal principle of Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual dissemination is that the quest for God is the primary concern of a person. Sri Ramakrishna said to Shambhu Malik, it is in the Gospel, he said, work is only the first step. It can never be the goal of life. Devote yourself to spiritual practice and go forward. Through practice, you will advance more and more in the path of God. At last, you will come to know that God alone is real and all else is illusory. And the goal of life is the attainment of God. Let us not forget this tremendous teaching of Sri Ramakrishna. The goal of life is to realize God. Anything other than this is mere useless from the point of view of experience of the truth. God is both the ultimate truth and the supreme end and value of life. Sri Ramakrishna, by his life and teaching, awakens the consciousness of the modern man to this supreme concern of life, namely the quest for God. The people of modern times are apt to ignore it in their agnosticism or bypass it in their quest for lesser values of life like wealth, fame, name and pleasures and so on. Sri Ramakrishna's life consisted of an incessant and intensive search for God. He was possessed of this passion and hunger for God even from his infancy. He literally dedicated himself to the one-pointed and all-exclusive quest for God. It was the sole and abiding interest of his life. According to him, it is God and God alone who crowns man's life with total fulfillment. Without God, life leads to utter self-annihilation. God alone is the source of all peace, bliss and blessedness. It is foolish to search for peace and happiness in the trivial and finite things of life. Isolation from God is the cause of man's bondage and suffering. We are suffering because we are not directing our mind towards God. We are not entertaining spiritual ideas in our heart. And we live a sort of life which is antagonistic to spirituality. So, suffering is the result. Sri Ramakrishna used to say that man alone truly lives to whom God is a living presence. We truly live when we live in God and for God only. Admission of God into our day-to-day life as our supreme concern may be said to be the basic proposition of Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual dissemination. Man attains real freedom and peace only when he is united with God. The second element of significance in Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual dissemination is that religion is a matter of direct realization of God. Sri Ramakrishna was not satisfied with second-hand spirituality. He was not content with mere scriptural testimony about the existence of God. Neither could he rest content with religion as merely an article of dogmatic faith. Nor was he satisfied with merely an intellectual conviction about the existence of God. He believed that religion was much more than mere faith or scriptural testimony or intellectual conviction. If there was a God, he wanted to see him face to face. If there was a God, he should be amenable to direct access. For Sri Ramakrishna, religion consisted in immediate experience or direct vision of God, uncolored by the mind or the senses. Sri Ramakrishna had direct perception of God. In the Gospel, there is a reference. He said to M, I do see God directly. What shall I reason about? I clearly see that He Himself has become the universe and all living beings. So, Sri Ramakrishna proclaimed that immediate and direct vision of God is possible for man. God may be a transcendental reality, but He is such that He is amenable to the most intimate mode of experience. God is a fact. He is not a myth, nor a figment of imagination. If the external world is the factual content of our sense experience, God is the factual content of our spiritual experience. For Sri Ramakrishna, religious experience, that is, experience of God uncontaminated by the mind or the senses, is more real and immediate than even sense experience. That religion is factual is a fundamental principle of Sri Ramakrishna philosophy. In the language of the Upanishads, Sri Ramakrishna says that religion is a matter of direct perception. This definition of religion satisfies the scientific temper of modern times, which demands factual verification for anything to be believed. God is a fact whose existence can be verified in one's own life by direct experience. Religion is experiential and not merely a matter of blind belief or conjecture. It is providential that Swami Vivekananda put the direct question to Sri Ramakrishna whether God could be seen, and Sri Ramakrishna answered in the affirmative. Sri Ramakrishna told Swami Vivekananda that he saw God in a more intensely real way than he saw the world. If Sri Ramakrishna is unique in modern times, it is because he stood for the reality of God and factuality of religion. According to him, God is real of the real. Compared to the fact of God, the facts of sense experience become reduced to shadows. In the Gospel we see the statement, There can be no genuine spirituality without first-hand experience of God. Again, Sri Ramakrishna has said, God alone is real. That is to say, the eternal substance, and the world is unreal. That is to say, transitory. Everything is very clear in Sri Ramakrishna's thinking and application. Everything completely clear. The next fundamental proposition in Sri Ramakrishna philosophy is that intense longing for God is a core of all the paths of sadhana that lead to the realization of God. Whether a spiritual aspirant follows the path of karma or bhakti, jnana or yoga, tantra or the path of surrender, what is indispensable is intense yearning for God. We find a reference to this in the Gospel. Sri Ramakrishna says, nothing whatsoever is achieved in spiritual life without yearning. One should feel a yearning for God, like the yearning of a man who has lost his job and is wandering from one office to another in search of work. If he is rejected at a certain place which has no vacancy, he goes there again the next day and inquires, is there any vacancy today? In another place, Sri Ramakrishna said to M in the Gospel, he said, one attains God when one feels yearning for Him. An intense restlessness is needed. Through it, the whole mind goes to God. Sri Ramakrishna accepts all the conventional methods of sadhana and assures that all of them lead an aspirant to the goal of realization of God, provided the sadhaka is imbued with ceaseless passion for God. Without intense craving for God, no sadhana can be successful. A sadhaka's fervor for God should be so all-consuming that all the faculties and resources of his personality get integrated and become infused with a zeal for the quest for God. Longing for God should be all-absorbing, like that of a child for its mother. Failure on the part of a sadhaka to have a vision of God is solely due to the deficiency in his yearning for God. Hunger for God is a sine qua non of religion. A little of sadhana with intense yearning accomplishes much more than even a lot of sadhana done with lukewarm spirit. Neither dogmatic faith nor intellectual conviction are enough to bring about God realization. Intense yearning for God is a all-exclusive means for realizing God. Another cardinal principle in the philosophy of Sri Ramakrishna is that all the mature religions of the world lead to the same consummation, that is, direct encounter with God. Sri Ramakrishna said in the Gospel, each religion is only a path leading to God, as rivers come from different directions and ultimately become one in the one ocean. Hence, all the major religions are equally valid and authentic. They may differ from each other in minor details or in their external forms and expressions, but in their inner essential moral and spiritual content and final divine consummation, there is so much unity and unanimity that all religions may be said to stand or fall together. Repudiation of any one religion furnishes grounds for the repudiation of other religions also, and vindication of one religion provides reasons for the vindication of other religions. There is a basic coherence and correspondence between all the mature religions. There are elements of truth, goodness and bliss in all the religions. All the great religions claim to possess divine knowledge and hence all of them are saviors of mankind. While conviction in and practice of one's own religion is sufficient for a man to realize God, there is need for everyone to accept and respect all religions other than one's own as true and valid. Willing acceptance of other religions as authentic brings about mutual understanding and respect amongst the followers of various religions, and these in turn lead to social peace and harmony. Also, by learning and assimilating the spiritual truths of other religions, one's religious consciousness gets expanded, enriched and intensified. For Sri Ramakrishna, this reconciliation of different faiths is not merely a matter of social adjustment and harmony, but a vital matter of spiritual integration. Another fundamental maxim of Sri Ramakrishna philosophy is that God is both with form and without form, as also with and without attributes. God is equally true and real in both these aspects of His. The Bhaktas look upon God as having form and infinite auspicious attributes. The Jnanis may view Him as without form and attributes. According to Sri Ramakrishna, it is wrong to hold that either one or the other aspect alone is true. With God, anything and everything is possible. God's ways are mysterious. Who can understand God? God is without form or name, but He does not lose anything of His reality when He assumes names and forms for the sake of His devotees. Realization of God with name and form is as much real and absolute as the realization of God without name and form. Both the former and latter liberate a sadhaka from samsara. Sri Ramakrishna said to the Brahma devotees, there is a reference in the Gospel. He said, Sri Ramakrishna said, as for myself, I accept all the formless God and God with form. I accept both. There is certain uniqueness in the philosophy of Sri Ramakrishna. What is that? It is all inclusive. Sri Ramakrishna said to Pandit Shashadhar, again in the Gospel we find, Sri Ramakrishna said, if there is butter, there must be buttermilk also. If you think of butter, you must also think of buttermilk along with it. For there cannot be any butter without buttermilk. Just so, if you accept the Nitya, you must also accept the Leela. It is a process of negation and affirmation. You realize the Nitya by negating the Leela. Then you affirm the Leela, seeing in it the manifestation of the Nitya. One attains this state after realizing reality in both aspects, personal and impersonal. The personal is the embodiment of Chit consciousness, and the impersonal is the indivisible Satchidananda. Brahman alone has become everything. I accept both Nitya and Leela, both the absolute and the relative. These are the words of Sri Ramakrishna. In the Gospel you find. Sri Ramakrishna rejects nothing in the realm of religion except untruth and fanaticism. He was no stranger to any religion or spiritual tradition. He had assimilated the spirit and truth of every great religion and spiritual tradition. He imparts to us insight into every religion. Sincere and genuine followers of every religion and tradition find in Sri Ramakrishna a master, preceptor and guide. If you read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, we will find that Sri Ramakrishna vindicates and confirms our faith and tradition. We will feel that he is one of our own tradition. The Vaishnavites will find an ideal Vaishnava in him, and the Shaivites will find a perfect Shaivite in him. To Advaitins he is an Advaitin par excellence. To Dvaitins he is a devout Dvaitin. To Bhaktas he is a supreme Bhakta. And to Jnanis he is a super Jnani. Sri Ramakrishna assimilated and reconciled in himself all faiths and traditions. This reconciliation and integration of different faiths is Sri Ramakrishna's supreme achievement. Sri Ramakrishna's philosophy, his philosophy applies to social work also. He has elevated social work to the level of divine worship. According to him, it is not given to man to do good to the world, but only to serve the world in the spirit of worship. Sri Ramakrishna himself was a social reformer and social worker. But his social work was based on spiritual realization and not merely on humanitarian sentiment. Sri Ramakrishna saw divinity and not mere humanity in all fellow beings. To say in his own words, social work should be based on daya and not on maya. Maya is selfish attachment to one's own people, relatives, friends. Whereas daya means love for all mankind. To see divinity in man and to serve him is daya. Social work, when based on maya or mere humanitarian sentiments and grounds, will not only not achieve much by way of social regeneration, but also will entangle the social worker in worldliness. Whereas social service inspired by daya brings about not only real social upliftment, but also self-purification, so very necessary for self-realization. Social work must become a part of God consciousness if it is to do real good to man and society. Social service, informed by God consciousness, is no mere social work, it is divine worship. This is well illustrated in the lives of Swami Vivekananda and Mahatma Gandhiji. Sri Ramakrishna's philosophy is rational and scientific in spirit. It is an incessant search for God, the ultimate truth. It does not take God for granted. Like science, it is based on facts only. Sri Ramakrishna appreciates the spirit of inquiry in rationalists and scientists. But what is science? Science, in the main, means quest for truth. God is the highest truth. Quest for God is the central core and inspiration of Sri Ramakrishna philosophy. According to Sri Ramakrishna, it is not sufficient for rationalists and scientists to have the spirit of inquiry. They should also possess passionate longing for God, the ultimate truth. Truth will be accessible to man only if he is imbued with unquenchable passion for it. Highest truth, that is God, becomes revealed only to such aspirants who seek it with their highest and intensest aspiration. Sri Ramakrishna demonstrates that if only men were to seek God at least as passionately as they cling to mundane things, they would realize that God is more real than sensate things or experiences. In fact, God will reveal himself as the only reality. One has only to open one's heart to God in earnest longing, and God realization will take place irresistibly in all its glory. Vijnana is a unique conception of Sri Ramakrishna philosophy. Vijnana is jnana overabounding and overreaching itself. Jnana is direct knowledge of God. Vijnana is much more intimate rapport and communion with God. To know God by negating everything else is jnana. To realize that God has become everything is vijnana. Vijnana is attained by negating the reality of everything else other than God. Vijnana asserts the reality of everything because vijnana is the realization that God himself has become everything. Jnana liberates a man from ignorance, which is the cause of his samsara, whereas vijnana makes jnana superabundant and liberation more enjoyable. Vijnana enables man to know and enjoy God much more intimately and intensely. So, we find how the spiritual dissemination of Sri Ramakrishna is so uplifting and inspiring for all the spiritual aspirants who are sincerely struggling to realize God. Sincerity is most important, and it is very crucial. If you are sincere, then your efforts will definitely prove successful. When you are sincere, you become determined. When you are determined, you will be steady in your practices. When you become steady, you must get the result. So, Sri Ramakrishna his personality is spirituality in action, not simply in theory. In action, are you following the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna? Then you are qualified to realize God. And Sri Ramakrishna himself shows through his own life, through his own day-to-day life, how everything can be spiritualized. No work is secular. Everything is spiritual. If you have that concept in your mind, then whatever you do, wherever you go, you maintain that spiritual attitude, which keeps your mind on a high level of purity, by the help of which you will not be indulging in any unethical ways and means, and so you get the maximum benefit of practicing Sri Ramakrishna's ideology. So, when you come to Sri Ramakrishna, all your rubbish selfishness will be destroyed. They will be put into fire. No place for selfishness in Sri Ramakrishna. When you proclaim you are the disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, you are the follower of Sri Ramakrishna, then there should not be any room for selfishness in the mind. Selfishness retards one's spiritual life. Try to become more and more selfless, more and more loving. Go on expanding. So much so, your love must envelop the whole universe. That's why we always say, let the whole world be happy. Even by praying that, I feel immensely happy. Let all the people in the universe be happy. What a grand idea. That one prayer is enough. So, let us approach God with all sincerity. Let us follow this philosophy of Sri Ramakrishna, given in modern times, in the modern language, easily understandable and applicable. That means we must like this spiritual life, then everything becomes possible. Very good. That concludes my today's talk. Spiritual dissemination of Sri Ramakrishna. Page 754. Sri Ramakrishna left the room for a minute. The women devotees were seated near the screen. They were eager to see Sri Ramakrishna. Trailokya went on with his music. Sri Ramakrishna entered the room again and said to Trailokya, please sing a little about the blissful mother. Trailokya sang, O mother, how deep is thy love for men. Mindful of it, I weep for joy. Listening to the song, the younger Narain went into deep meditation. He remained as still as a log. Sri Ramakrishna said to him, look at him. He is totally unaware of the outer world. The song was over. At Sri Ramakrishna's request, Trilokya sang, O mother, make me mad with thy love. What need have I of knowledge or reason? Ram asked him to sing about Hari. Trilokya sang, chant, O mind, the name of Hari. Sing aloud the name of Hari. Praise Lord Hari's name. And praising Hari's name, O mind, cross the ocean of this world. Hari dwells in each. Hari dwells in earth, in water. Hari dwells in fire and air, In sun and moon he dwells. Hari's ever-living presence fills the boundless universe. Yam said in a low voice to Trailokya, "Please, Gaur and Nitai, ye blessed brothers." Sri Ramakrishna too asked him to sing the song. Trailokya and the devotees sang it in chorus, the master joining them. When it was over, the master sang, "Behold, the two brothers have come," Gauranga and Nityananda, "who weep while chanting Hari's name. The brothers who in return for blows offered to sinners Hari's love, embracing everyone as brother, even the outcast, shunned by men. Behold, the two brothers have come, who once were Kanai and Balai of Braja." Sri Ramakrishna sang again, "See how all Nadia is shaking under the waves of Gauranga's love." Then, "Who are they that walk along chanting Hari's name? O Madhai, go out and see. They seem to be Gaur and Nitai, with golden anklets on their lovely feet, shaven of head and clad in rags. They reel like madmen as they go." The younger Narain was about to leave. Master said, "Show great devotion to your parents, but don't obey them if they stand in your way to God. You must gird your loins with great determination and say, 'This rogue of a father.'" Narain said, "Truly, I have no fear." Girish arrived. Sri Ramakrishna introduced him to Trailokya. He asked them to talk to each other. A few minutes later the master said, "That song again, please." Trailokya sang, "Victory to Gora, Shachi's son, hail, abode of every virtue, touchstone of love, ocean of bliss, man's bewitcher, beauteous of form, enchanting the eye like shining gold." Sri Ramakrishna went into Samadhi. He stood up, totally unconscious of the world. Regaining partial consciousness, he begged Trailokya to sing, "Oh, what a vision I have beheld." Trailokya sang, "Oh, what a vision I have beheld in Keshav Bharati's hut. Gora in all his matchless grace, shedding tears in 1,000 streams. Like a mad elephant, he dances in ecstasy and sings, drunk with an overwhelming love, rolling flat upon the ground and swimming in his tears. He weeps and shouts Lord Hari's name, piercing the very heavens with his cries, loud as a lion's roar. Then most humbly he begs men's love, to feel himself the servant of God. Shorn of his locks, he has put on the yogi's ochre robe. Even the hardest heart must melt to see his pure and heavenly love. Smitten with man's deep vow, he has abandoned everything and pours out love unstintingly. Oh, would that Premdas were his slave, and passing from door to door might sing Gauranga's endless praise." The music was over. It was about dusk. Sri Ramakrishna was surrounded by the devotees. We shall stop here. Unless you experience yourself, you won't get the joy. Suppose I say, "I have seen God." What does it make to you? What sense it will make to you? Oh, Swamiji has seen God. Finished. That's all that you can say. What else? If you have to experience, you have to struggle and experience the truth. That's the meaning. First hand, all direct. Sri Ramakrishna's approach is direct approach. That's why he told Swami Vivekananda also. When Swami Vivekananda came and requested Sri Ramakrishna to pray to remove the crisis he was suffering from in the home, he asked Sri Ramakrishna to pray for the mother on his behalf. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, "Why do you want proxy? Go directly and pray. Mother is mother. She is my mother. She is your mother too. Go and pray." And he did. What I mean to say, Sri Ramakrishna always encouraged to have direct approach. You may take the help, how to do, what way, etc. But going you have to do, you should not depend upon somebody else. That's the point. See, his teachings are based upon his practical way of living the spiritual life. Mystic experiences, they vary from person to person. But Sri Ramakrishna's mystic experience is unique in the sense that he became the teacher of all those other mystics who had mystical experiences. His teachers, he became the teacher of his teachers. That means Sri Ramakrishna realized the absolute. That's what when he said, Sri Ramakrishna said, correct direction towards God and trying to take steps all that is required to see how the mind goes towards God. There are so many reasons for distracting. Mind gets distracted every now and then, every moment. With this tremendous distraction, how is it possible to experience God? So, it suggests that first of all you have to stop all these distractions. That's your immediate sadhana. What are these distractions? Why should I unnecessarily be pulled by these distractions? So, you must try to use your discriminating faculty, and you have to analyze, you have to think properly, you have to be very conscious of every moment, how the mind is distracting you, how you are going away from God, how you are going away from spiritual ideas, how you are going away from spiritual life. All these things are very, very important. If you pay attention to all these aspects, then you will be able to achieve the goal in this very life. It's quite possible. It's possible. That's Sri Ramakrishna's speciality. Shankaracharya also had told Jivan Mukti, one can attain liberation in this life. And Sri Ramakrishna demonstrated that, and he gave practical expression to what Shankaracharya had told. Whether you are a Dvaitin or a Dvaitin, Vishishtadvaitin, doesn't matter. Just realize the truth. Be happy and peaceful and share that happiness to all, with all. That's all. So like that. We are here playing. We have come to play in this world. Play well and realize God. Sri Ramakrishna came to show in this modern world the goal of human life is to realize God. And he also gave the significant message that all religions lead to the same goal. So he established harmony among the religions. So he, first time, he accepted and gave reverence to all the religions. Not simply accepting. You should not be sympathetic. No. Every religion is equally great as the other. That point. So God is the center. All different religions are different radii leading to the same center. So as many faiths, so many paths. So it is sheer useless to quarrel among the religions in the name of religion. Stupidity, actually. So anyway, world is going on that way. What can be done? But at least we know what it is. Let us do our practice in a proper way and realize the truth and be helpful to the society, to the world at large, in whatever way we can render our contribution to the prosperity of the people. That's our best service. That's all we can do. Whole world we can't straighten out. It's not in our hands. World will go in its own way. But I should go in my own way. I will follow spiritual path. That may be all right. In that process, you are contributing to the welfare of the humanity also. But intense yearning for God will make you more serious about practicing spirituality. It is just like, suppose you want to become a doctor. Unless you have intense desire to become a doctor, you will not put forth maximum effort to get through in the medical school. So that means, first of all, the goal is to be set, and then it should be earnest. Yes, I must reach that. I must not waste my energy in any other matter. So like that, intense yearning is, that means you must stop all dissipating energies and use this energy in practicing spirituality, so that intense yearning certainly takes you faster near the God. It is necessary. Sri Ramakrishna himself, how much he yearned. So yearning is important. It is true. Yearning in a proper way. You must follow the other disciplines, other necessaries also. Following, living a pure way of life, and entertaining pure thoughts, and contemplating upon the spiritual ideas, clarifying the mind more and more. All these things are to be done along with yearning. So, with that, yearning becomes intensified. When yearning becomes intensified, then you will get realization of God. Yearning means restlessness. I have not been able to God. Sri Ramakrishna, you read his life. He said, one day is gone, still I could not see mother. Another day is gone, still I didn't see mother. Every day he would cry. He would cry tremendously. And people thought, oh, he's crying. He was crying, Ma, Ma. People thought probably he was crying for his earthly mother. But he was crying for the divine mother, not earthly mother. Shall stop. Chant the name of the Lord and his glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean, and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name streamed down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drowned deep in the waves of his bliss, tasting his nectar at every step, bathing in his name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are rest, no times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when an instant's separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence. Though it tears my soul asunder, O thou who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous reign tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good guide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy, may the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For, he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.